Greetings from God's country at the gateway to the Ozarks in Fairfield Bay, Arkansas. This is the Fairfield Bay Gadfly coming to you from the Flytrap studio with the Fairfield Bay Gadfly Presents. Today we will look at this day in history, uncover what is going on in the world, and reflect on how such happenings affect all of us. Now, this day in history. On April 22nd, 1969, the world's first human eye transplant was performed. I'm hoping that by 1972, when singer Johnny Nash released I Can See Clearly Now, and he did a much better job than the Gadfly, that the patient involved could then see clearly. On the international stage, Ukraine. Mariupol is Russia's. Most of Mariupol is in Russian hands. As many as 9,000 civilians may be buried in nearby Manhush, all of which is very similar to Babi, which refers to the nearly 34,000 Ukrainian Jews slaughtered by the Nazis in 1941. Several thousand Ukrainian defenders are still holed up in a massive steel plant. It's 4 square miles. It's massive, which Russia is now attempting to starve out rather than sustain casualties in a frontal assault. The more time Russia gives defenders, the more time there will be the possibility to get them additional weapons and provisions. On a positive note, this just in. The flagship of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, the Moskva, has been promoted from cruiser to submarine. One last comment about Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy has been named as one of 5 recipients of this year's John F. Kennedy Profiles in Courage Award for acting to protect democracy. I think we all know that Ukraine has a reputation of their own with oligarchs and corruptions no less than that in Mother Russia. However, we must remember that Ukraine is now a sovereign nation, and Vlad the Impaler Putin and Russia is an invader. It would be like the U.S. invading Canada or Mexico. Canada is too cold, and I'm wondered about their beer. Or Mexico, which is too hot, although the Democrats could see new voters. Now, on a national stage, well. Who says the U.S. Supreme Court is not political? The court upheld the differential treatment of residents of Puerto Rico and other territories as excluded when Congress created the Supplemental Security Income Program. You have to remember, such territories do not pay federal income taxes, which help fund the SSI program. So why should they receive benefits from a program to which they don't contribute? I believe the band Dire Straits has a song about that. It's called Money for Nothing, and they also did it better than the Gadfly. The vote of the court was 8-1, with the lone dissenter being Judge Sotomayor, whose parents were born in Puerto Rico. In her dissent, Sotomayor said, "There was no rational basis for Congress to exclude needy people in territories." Well, if they don't pay in, why should they receive benefits? Tell me again how the Supreme Court is not political. On another sad note, Broadway and film actor Robert Morse died at age 90. Morse rose to Broadway fame in the role of J. Pierpont Finch in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and finished his film career with television's series Mad Men as a 1960s-style look at Manhattan office politics. Our prayers to his family. Now, state bases. What if you held a political debate and the frontrunners chose not to participate? Apparently, Governor-elect Sarah feels it is beneath her to participate when she already has both the primary and general election in the bag. I would love to see a debate between her and Republican challenger Doc Washburn. Democrats, not so much, as it's highly doubtful that there will ever be a strong enough Democrat candidate to win the governor's office. Now, when I talk about the state news, it also includes the city of Little Rock, which is now in the process of establishing a new green restaurant program called Swing Into Action. The announcement was made by Mayor Scott and his hanger-ons for photo ops at the Little Rock Zoo's Cafe Africa to publicize the program. Swing Into Action will recognize food service businesses that complete requirements for 3 tiers of certification of quote-unquote green policies. In other words, you don't get a plastic straw, you have to have the paper one. The carrot will be free marketing via the internet and other media. In other words, another foolish way to spend city funds. Oh, do you know the difference between the New York Zoo and the Little Rock Zoo? On the cages at the New York Zoo, they have the name of the animal along with the scientific name in Latin. At the Little Rock Zoo, they list the name of the animal and a recipe. Okay, headed to the local bases. On the downhill side. The Neverending Story was a wonderful film from 1984. In the film, a young boy learns about the fantasy world of Fantasia, which is slowly being devoured by a malevolent force called the Nothing. Look at Fairfield Bay. For the past 2 years or so, the bay has and continues to be torn asunder by 2 different competing forces, 2 of the nothings, the city and the community club. The only way we can restore the community to which most of us thought we were moving to is coming up on this year's club board and city council elections. If you don't like the directions in which the club and the city are headed, then you know which candidates will receive your votes. If you do like the directions in which one or both is headed, then you know which candidates will receive your votes. Again, elections have consequences. I'll leave you with today's words of wisdom. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit fries like a banana. Thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in today. This is the Fairfield Bay Gadfly bringing you truth from above and signing off for now.